Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to EnggAdda. So today I'm going to discuss the CRUD project in Spring Boot. As a database, we are going to use the MongoDB. So this is a video of the CRUD project with the Spring Boot and the MongoDB. So coming to the prerequisites for this course, we need to have the Studio 3T, MongoDB, Spring Boot, Postman, and IntelliJ on your system. So coming to the MongoDB, you need to install the MongoDB community server on your system and need to set the path of bin into the environment variable. Coming to the Studio 3T, you need to install the Studio 3T for the MongoDB database. And Studio 3T is working as a IDE for the MongoDB database. So when you connect your MongoDB database with the Studio 3T, then you can see there is a console page where you can run your query, where you can perform every CRUD operation, and you can create collection, you can create databases, everything you can do. So you need to install the Studio 3T, you need to install the MongoDB. Coming to the Spring Boot, you need to have the IntelliJ and the Postman handy. So this is about the prerequisite. Now coming to the video, I'm just going to create a Spring Boot project, and there I will show you how you can start your development. So let me go to the IntelliJ and let us start with the development. So let me go to the file, let me go to new project, and then here you can create the project, let's say Spring Boot with MongoDB CRUD. Okay, so let me go to the next. Now we need some starter dependency. I'm going to use the Lombok, Spring Web, and MongoDB data. So let me go here, Spring Data MongoDB. So these are the three starter dependency that we need. Let me open in a new tab. So it will take a few seconds to configure itself. So let it configure, then we can start our development. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a let's say a Maven, let's say a MVC pattern architecture I'm going to use, and I'm going to create simple entity, repository, service, and the controller packages, and there I will try to do the development, and I will show you how you can connect yourself your this application to the MongoDB database as well. So you need to do some configuration in the application properties file how you used to do for the uh, MySQL database. Similarly, you need to do for the MongoDB as well. So let me go to the source. Let me see if it is configured or not. So it is configured as a Maven project. Now let me go to the Java, and here let me create the packages. So let me create the entity. Coming to the next package, service, repo, and controller. These four packages I need to have. So let me create the controller. Okay, it is going somewhere else. Let me come here, right click, new, and then package, and then let me create the controller. And we need a repository also. So repo. Now coming to the entity, let me create a Java class called product. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to perform the basic CRUD operation for the product. So I'm going to insert a product into the database, going to get the product from the database, going to delete, and going to update it. So these four basic operation I need to do. So for that I'm creating the product as an entity, and with the help of Lombok I'm going to create the all argument, no argument, and getter and setters with the help of data annotation. Now coming to this class, for this class we need to create a collection. How we need to create the database for the particular entity class in the MySQL or in the relational databases when we were using. Similarly, for the MongoDB, we have the term collection, which is equivalent to the data, which is equivalent to the table. So we are going to create a collection for this entity class. So let me create how you can create it. There is a annotation called document, and there we need to provide the collection name as a whatever collection you want to create. So let me create the name as a product. So product collection we are going to create. So it is collection. Let me remove this. So in the database, what it will do, it will create a product collection. Okay, so now coming to the instances. So let me create the product instance. So let me do it. Let's say it is ID, and let me create the name of product and the price. So private double and price. So these are three instances I'm going to create and making the ID as a ID. Okay. Now coming to the repository, let me create the product repo. So as an interface, and it will extend the MongoDB repository. So let me extend Mongo, MongoDB, a Mongo repository. And here what you need to provide this two argument, which is a entity name and the type of ID. Okay, so we have created the ID as an integer type, so the second argument should be integer. So let me do that. So it is product and integer. So this we are done with this repository creation. Now coming to the service, let me create the service class here. So let's say I'm going to create the service interface first, and then I will create the implementation package, and there I will try to create the implementation class. So I am following that approach. So now coming here, let me create some methods. So let's say it is get product by ID. Okay, and let's say it is returning the product also. So it is fetching out the product from the database, and then what it is doing, it is just returning it. So return type of this method is product. Let's say its modifier is public. Now let me import this class here in this product class in this class in this interface. So make okay. Now coming here, okay, we need not to provide the implementation. Now on based upon the ID, I'm going to find out the product from the database. So let me pass the ID here. Now coming to the other method, let me create the CRUD method. So it is get, which is a read method. Now let me create the method to insert the product into the database. Insert product. And here what you need to pass? You need to pass the product reference. So let's say product, and it is inserting and just showing you which product it has inserted into the database. So it return type I'm just keeping as a product only. Now coming to the other one is update product. Okay, so update product, and here what we need to pass this like the particular product ID we are fetching from the database and then updating it. So we need to pass these two argument here. One is ID, and another is we need to pass uh, the new response that you are going to send from the postman. So let's say it is product, and it also displaying the updated product. And coming to the delete one, let me do it void, and let's say it is delete product. And here what we need to pass the ID. Based upon the ID, it will fetch out the product from the database and delete it. So this four CRUD method I have created here in the service interface. Now coming to the implementation, let me create a package called IMPL, and then there I will try to create a class called service IMPL, and then what I will do, I will try to product service IMPL. Let me do it like this. Now let me implement the product service here in this class. So product service, and let me override all the methods. Now let me provide the real implementation here. So in this class, this is a service class. So let me annotate this at the rate service. Now coming to the implementation, what we need to do, we need the MongoDB repository method, which is already provided by the MongoDB. So I'm going to use that. So for that, what we need to do, we need to have the product repo reference in the product service IMPL. So I'm going to auto-wire that. So let me auto-wire it. Product repo. And with the help of this, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to call the methods which are provided by the MongoDB repository. So let's say I'm going to call the get product by ID. So for that, we have the method called find by ID. You can see here. And then what you need to provide, you need to provide the ID here. And then you need to do get. Now coming to the insert, we have the method called save. And then you need to pass the reference here and then just save it. Coming to the update, we need to do the implementation for it. So what I'm going to do, based upon this ID, I'm going to find out the product from the database and then update it with this response and then try to save it back. So let me try to do that. So product, what I'm going to do, product one, something like that, or product from DB, something like that, product from DB. And what I need to do, I need to, with the help of this product repo, I need to find out by the ID and then find by ID, and then we need to pass the ID which we are providing here. Once it is fine, like once we get it from the database, we need to update this. So product from DB dot set, let's say I'm going to set the name, and from where we are getting this name, from the reference that we are providing, from the response that we are providing. Similarly for the other fields also we need to do. So let me set the price and let me get the price from the reference that we are providing. And I'm not going to set the ID. So once it is done, what we need to do, we need to save this thing into the database. So let me save the product from DB and then just simply return this. So once it is safe, let me return it. Let me remove this line. So this is about the update. Coming to the delete one, what we need to do, we need to find out the product ID from the database, and the whole record we need to delete. So there is a method called delete by ID. So which will find out the product ID and from the database, and it will delete that record. So we need to pass the ID. So we are done with the implementation. Now coming to the controller, let me create the APIs for it. So product repo, sorry, product controller. Let me annotate this class with the @REST controller and request mapping. So REST controller @request mapping, because this is a controller class. If you don't know why we are using this annotation, then I have a video on my channel for the all REST related annotations. Spring Boot REST annotation, something like that is there. So let me map it with the name called product. And now coming to the product controller, what we need to do, we need to call the service IMPL methods here, which we have implemented. So for that, what I need to have the reference of the product service. So I'm just going to create that, auto-wire that, and then with the help of that, we'll try to call the implemented methods. So product service, and then let me create a get mapping first, or let me create the post one first. So let's say I'm going to insert one record. Okay, so let me create method for it. So let's say it is product. Okay, and insert product. Now, okay, we have this. Let me import this class here, and let's say it is public. And here what I need to provide, I need to provide the response from the postman or from the client. So let's say we need to send the response in the form of request body so that it can convert the JSON into the Java object and save into the database. So that is why we are using this response request body parameter here. So let me product and product. Now coming here to the post mapping, let me do this mapping as a insert, and with the help of this product service reference, what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to call this method product insert product and then provide the reference here. So we are done with this. Now coming, okay, let me return this also. So now coming to the other methods, we need to provide the get and delete and put. So let me do that. So let me create the get mapping here. Okay, and coming here, let me, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to find out the product based upon the ID. So let me do find and then let me provide the ID as a path variable. So here we need to provide the path variable and here we need to provide the ID. So let me do that and then let me change the name of this method, which is get by ID, something like that. And what I'm going to do with the help of this product service reference, I'm going to call the method that we have implemented, get product by ID, and then pass the ID here. So we are done with this. Now coming to the put mapping, let me create the put mapping here and let's say it is update, and what I'm going to do based upon the ID, I'm just going to update it. So I will just find out the record from the database on the based upon the ID, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to update it with the response that I will be sending here and then save it back. So let me provide the path variable because we are sending the ID in the path variable in the form of URL. So that is why I'm providing the path variable here. And we are sending the response, which is the new response we are trying to update. And let me call that method again here. So let me remove this and then call that. So it is update product. We need to pass the ID and then we need to pass the reference. So these two things we need to pass here and then return it simply. Coming to the next implementation, next API development, we have the delete one, and let me try to delete it simply and then mapping should be delete and we need to pass the ID and based upon the ID it will delete it. So here we need to pass, here we need to use the path variable and we need to provide the ID as an argument. So it will delete the particular product ID. So let's say it is delete product, we need to pass the ID here. So that is all. Let me remove this and let me do it void. So we are done with the development of the APIs also. Now let me come to the SRC folder, sorry, resource folder, and let me go to the application.properties file so that we can do the configuration that we want. So for the database connectivity, we need some configuration done from our side. So let me open the application properties file and we need to provide the host port and the database name. So let me try to do that. So it is spring.data MongoDB, MongoDB, and from there you can see there is a database is there and Spring data. We need to have the host and the port. So host is the local host and the port which is the default port. So let me MongoDB and host here you can see, and then I'm not going to set the password for it because I have not set the password. Okay, so that is why I'm not going to do that. I'm locally running it. So spring data dot mongodb dot port. So the port number is 20, sorry, 27017. Okay, host is localhost and the database that we want to create. So let me create the product table or product collection, product store, something like that. Okay. So this is with this name with this name it will create a database. This is the host which it will locally connect, and this is the port number for the MongoDB local. So let me walk you through the Studio 3T and the MongoDB. Okay, so now let me show you. So let me open the CMD here and let me show you that I have installed the MongoDB for me. So I'm going to use I'm going to run this command mongo d and then minus minus version, and then let's see. So this you can see this MongoDB is installed on my machine. Now coming to the Studio 3T, let me open the Studio 3T application here and then show you how you can connect with your MongoDB with the help of Studio 3T. Okay, so let me make it up. And in the earlier video, I already showed you that how you can connect your MongoDB with the Studio 3T. So we are done with the configuration. I'm just trying to connect it locally, and then I will show you that how this databases and everything is created. Here you can see we have these four databases already. Now when I will run this application, it will create a database with the name called product store, and then it will connect MongoDB locally there with the Studio 3D. So let me run this application and then show you. So let me run this and then I will show you how it is behaving. Okay. So you can see this application is up. You can see this application is up on the port number 8080. And now coming to the Studio 3D, let me refresh this and let me see if it is connected or not. So where is that? Let me refresh the selected item. Okay. Let me okay. Let me drop this collection. Now come to the Studio 3T. Here you can see it is up on this. Now let me try to hit this API so that I can see if some record is there, the record is inserted. So let me try to do that and then we'll see if the database with the name product store is creating or not. So come to the Postman. Let me open the Postman and then see. So yeah, it is opening up. What is the API for insert? Let me go there to the controller and then see. So for insert, what we have at the class level, we have the mapping product, and then for insert, it is insert. And what we need to provide? We need to provide the ID, name, and price. So let me go there to the Postman. It is up now. Let me dismiss it and then ID, and let me do the name, and name is this, and then price. So let me do the price here, and let me set the price here. Let's say uh, product price is 1000. Okay, and let's say name is charger, mobile charger, something like that, and ID is 1. Now coming here, we need to change it to the post, and this is the default port on which our application is up. Now coming to the insert repository, what we need to have, sorry, insert API, we need to have the mapping as a insert. So this is the class level mapping which is product, and here we have the insert. Okay, now let me try to send it and then see how it is behaving. So you can see one record is inserted to the database. Now come to the Studio 3T. Let me refresh this and then see. So you can see one database with the name product store is created, and here we have the a collection called product. Okay, so we are done with the, like, we are going very good as terms of the development. We are able to connect with the database. We are able to insert one record, and we are able to create the database and the collection also. Now let me open this let me open this database, and you can how you can open the database. You have to open a IntelliCell on the particular database or on the particular collection. So how you can do that? So let me tell you. So you can come to this particular database which you want to open. You have to right click, and then you have to open IntelliCell there, so that you can run some commands there. Run some MongoDB command. So it is opening. It will automatically give you the find command here. If it is not giving you, you can go for yourself. So db dot get collection. Here you need to provide the collection name, which is product. Okay. And what you need to do, you need to run the find query. So let's say I'm running this. Select this whole command and then try to hit it. So you can see we have inserted this record. The product name is mobile charger, price is 1000, and this is the ID for it. Similarly, what you can do, you can come to the postman, and similarly you can create couple of records there. So let's say it is laptop charger, and laptop charger, and its price is 2000 or 3000, something like that. And let me send it. So come to the Studio 3T. Now you can run this command, and then you can see this two records is inserted. So as far as the development, we can see the post mapping is working fine. Now let me check the get mapping and the delete mapping and the put mapping also. So let me go for the put up first, and then let me show you. So I'm going to for the put. Here what you need to do, this is the product, and here you need to provide the update, and then what you need to do, you need to provide the product ID for which you want the updation. So let me update the price of the mobile charger. So I'm passing here as a ID1 because we have the ID1 as a mobile charger. And now coming here, let me change to the ID1, and let me change this to mobile charger, and let me change the price to it was 1000, so let me change it to the 2000, and let me send it. So you can see for ID1, the name is mobile charger, and now the price is updated to 2000, which was earlier as a 1000. So let me show you this thing in the database as well. Let me hit this, and you can see for mobile charger we have updated the price as 2000. So this is about the put mapping. Now coming to the get mapping, let me show you how you can find the product based upon the ID. So let's say I'm going to find the product based upon the ID, and let me hit this. Or let me try to find out the second product. So I'm doing that. You can see we are able to find out the product number 2. Coming to the delete one, let me delete the second product. So here you need to pass the product, here you need to pass the delete, and then what you need to do, you need to provide the ID for the particular product which you want to delete. So let me delete the second product, and let's send it. So you can see we are not returning anything, so that is why it is blank here. Come to the database, and then you can run this query, and then see, you can see that laptop charger is removed from the database. So this is about the CRUD project with the help of Spring Boot and the MongoDB as a database. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and please subscribe the channel for more such content.